welcome you to this, the first event of the Mouseland Press Speakers Series. Like newspapers everywhere, the Uniter is in an evolve or die situation. By virtue of the fact that we are part of the independent media community, our prospects are very good. Tonight we are taking a bold step toward extending our reach and our contribution to community life on and off campus. The Uniter would like to take this opportunity to salute Mouseland Press, our board of directors and publisher, for thinking and being ahead of the evolutionary curve. At its best, independent media welcomes perspectives that differ from the mainstream. Because the Uniter is both independent and autonomous, we are free to stretch the normal boundaries of university life, and we will. Which brings me to our first speaker, Chris Walter, independent publisher, author, and punk rock historian. For half an hour or so, Chris will share his tales from inside the world of independent publishing. We'll have a short intermission after that with another performance by Cato Destroy, and then come back with a live interview with Chris and some Q&A. You've seen the promo, so I won't go into his remarkable journey. Where is he anyway? I won't go into the journey here, but I will say that Chris is often referred to as Winnipeg's godfather of punk, a title which he tells me is far too grandiose for his newfound humility. I guess we'll just have to see. Without further ado, please welcome Chris Walter.
For you, being expecting Henry Rollins or anything like that, you're just going to have to go get your refund right now, because I don't really have any witty urban banter. I'm just going to talk about myself. I mean, so if you paid to get in, my apologies, get a refund. Okay, so I get to talk about me and get paid for it. This is a sweet deal, I'll tell you. But, really, what's there to say? I'm going to talk about how I came to be here, a high school dropout getting paid to talk to university students. It's pretty surreal, isn't it? Well, I grew up in Fort Rouge, and and I hated school. I was like you, I smoked too much pot, and I didn't do anything at all. And I was bad at every class that there was, except for English. That's the only one that didn't suck for me. That's the only one that kind of made sense. I could read. And the reason I could read is because my parents had a black and white TV, and if you held the antennas just right, you could get 2 channels. But they had a floor-to-ceiling bookcase. It was huge. It went right to the ceiling. And I learned that the best books were right at the top. So I got a chair and I went up there and I got Ian Fleming's James Bond series and John A. MacDonald. And I thought that shit really kicked ass. I just liked, it was escape, but it was fun escape. And that did me for a while. And I did shitty in school, but I had books. And but then finished reading all this kind of pulp fiction stuff. So I went further down the bookcase, and I discovered this guy named John Steinbeck. And I read one of his stories. I think it was about 12, and it was about a guy whose wife was cheating on him. So he waited for the guy to come over the hill, and then he shot him with a rifle, and that was the end of the story. And I was like, holy fuck! It blew me away that anybody would, this wasn't John D. MacDonald, guns shoot him. I'm John A. MacDonald, shoot him. Did I say John A. MacDonald? Wasn't he a prime minister or something? I meant John D. MacDonald. But anyway, talking about Steinbeck, and there was this, these stories, I couldn't believe it was so real. And I read this. And that's when I began to realize the true power of the word and the written paper. And I thought it was so amazing that anything that anybody could write on a piece of paper and somebody could read it and just be affected like so strongly. It was like TV just didn't do that to me. It couldn't do that to me. I thought, wow, I can't believe this. I'm reading this shit and it just brings out so many different emotions. And I read the story. It was called The Pearl. And I guess I was about 13. I don't know if my mom remembers it, but it was about a woman. She was pretty working class, you know, just barely getting by. She had a socialite friend. I don't know how they explained that, but she was at her place. And she saw a string of pearls, and she wanted to get these. She had a function coming up, and she thought it would be just the greatest thing in the world if she had these pearls and she could wear them. So she asked her socialite friend if she could wear these pearls to this function. She would turn them back the next day and be very, very careful, and you treat them so carefully. And her friend said, "Sure, take the pearls, wear the pearls." So she went to the function. And she shone. She was like the star, and everybody was looking at her. She looked so beautiful, and she had these glowing pearls around her neck. No porno stuff here, folks. And so anyways, after the next day, she's turning back. She goes to get back the pearls, and she can't find them. They're gone. The pearls are gone. She's devastated. She looks everywhere. She's trying to find them. She can't find them. They're gone. She looks everywhere. So she works really, really hard. She gets another job. She stalls her friend about returning them. And she's killing herself to get these pearls, to get enough money to buy some more pearls. And so finally, months later, she's all beat up and haggard, almost dead from trying to get together enough money to buy the pearls. She goes back to her friend and she says, "Here's your pearls back." She's put them in the original box, right? And her friend says, "Oh, just put them over there with the other costume jewelry." And you know, that was the end of the book, and I was just, God, she's like her friend, it was costume jewelry. But anyway, you know, the power of that story, it made me want to write. I just thought, wow, if I could ever write anything that affected me the way I've just been affected by that story, then I'd be happy. I mean, that's all I would really want to do. I mean, but, you know, I didn't write. Instead, I smoked some more pot. You know, and I got kicked out of school after school, and I smoked more pot, and then I discovered alcohol. Now, then the party really started. And, you know, and I gotta admit, I had a lot of fun drinking and smoking pot and taking acid. It was great. And, you know, and the real shit didn't start until many years later. I went to the dysfunction was there from the beginning, but that was just, you know, part of the fun, really, as far as I could see it. Anyway, I went to a school called Argyle, and it's a school for fuck-ups on the, I don't know, you guys are Winnipeggers, you've probably heard of it. It might even